Alright y'all, so welcome back to another video. I don't know if you guys remember when I showcased these Chicago Bulls jerseys for boys. There was a Michael Jordan, Evan sold the very first week, and then you had the Tony Kukoc. They all came from the Goodwill bins, and I didn't list these super high. I think the going rate was somewhere between 30 to 40. I split the difference and listed mine right there in the middle for 35, and this one sold for full asking, 35 plus shipping. Alright, so these are some new tags, Prana. These are pants. I believe this model is called the O'Day. Prana does okay. I mean, the hiking pants and the jeans tend to do a little bit better. For me personally, I've kind of experienced that the women's pants don't really do that great, but you can still move them. These are new tags. They came right here from the Goodwill bins here in Tennessee. So these are really light. So probably, let's just say $1.50, and I got 17 plus shipping. Alrighty, so I finally sold those Anthony Edwards Metamorphosis basketball sneakers that I was talking about. I think like just 2 or 3 videos back when I was just showing you guys 10 items that I picked up at the Goodwill bins. They're already plastic wrapped, and I believe these were missing the insoles. Picked them up at the bins probably for, let's just say, $3, and finally an offer came in for 33 plus shipping. I think I only had these listed for, I think, like 40 or 45 bucks. All right, so these are some Pokemon Crocs. I found these down at the Goodwill bins, and this is the second time I've sold the same shoe, probably within just the last 4 or 5 months. They're really light, probably only cost 50 cents to $1, and I believe these sold for $14.39 plus the $6.99 shipping. So this is a multiple quantity order. It's just 2 pair of these American Eagle distress shorts. Put them over here so I can kind of show you guys a little bit better. So yeah, they're basically the same shorts. One's just the stretch model, and both are the same size. And I found these on the same day in the same bin at the Goodwill outlet, and I figured somebody would come along and maybe want to buy both of these. I didn't lot them up as one order, but I just figured by chance somebody would come through and pick both of them up. That's what ended up happening in this situation. The lady reached out to me and said if she bought both of them, could I combine shipping? And then she just paid. She didn't send an offer or anything. She just asked me if I could send her a shipping refund, and that's what I did. So I think this total order, like I said, was $38.50, and I'm probably into both of these for probably not even $2. Right, so I did about $14,000 in sales last month in January. I know there's a lot of misconceptions about sales just in the online world, but that's gross sales. It's not what you get to take home. So typically for me, my margins are anywhere from 50 to 55% if you want to do some rough math on what you can make from that, and yours could be below that or it could be above. It really just depends on what your model is and what you're picking up. My inventory at this point is probably about 90% Goodwill bins and 10% online arbitrage, retail arbitrage. I used to be a lot heavier in the retail arbitrage space. Not really the case since we moved to Tennessee. The system, just being at the Goodwill bins a few days a week, typically works a little bit better for what I have going on right now, and kind of want to give you just a real picture of what I'm doing to make these sales. And again, maybe you're at this level of sales, maybe you're above it, maybe you're below it, but I want to give you a real picture of what it takes to be able to just make decent sales on eBay. And so typically everything behind me, I have about 5,000 items in my eBay store. I'm listing about 30 items per day, and that's 7 days a week. I list 7 days a week, but I don't work 7 days a week. So typically what I do Monday through Friday is I actually prepare for my weekend listings by basically creating extra listings throughout the course of those 5 days so I can take the weekends off. So I'll do a little bit of ancillary work after church on Sunday, but it's very minimal. It's just basically to get prepared for Monday. I take Saturday completely off. That's the day that our family observes the Sabbath. It's a ritual that we basically established over the course of the last 4 or 5 years. Our kids know about it. They know about the rhythm of the week. And so if I'm out here working on a Saturday morning, trust me, my 2 oldest boys, they'll definitely call me out on it. I've actually taught them to, if it's within reason, call it out if you don't think it's right. And so I got a lot of accountability partners in here with 5 kids plus my wife. that works out for me. I've talked to a lot of resellers over the course of just my 10-year reselling career, and most resellers are working 7 days a week, 8 days a week if it's possible. And I used to be from that same school of thought, but you just burn yourself out real fast with that. And so for me personally, working 5 days, a little bit of cleanup work on Sunday, and taking Saturday completely off. When I come back out here on Monday, ready to get the week started, I come out here with just so much energy and I'm ready to go. And so that's kind of a snapshot of what I'm doing to produce the sales that I'm currently doing. And I don't have a VA, I don't have any employees. I used to loop my wife in quite a bit, probably like in my earlier reselling days, but nowadays she's busy running a household, a large household. We're really in the trenches with homeschooling, so she doesn't typically have a ton of time to dedicate her hours in the day to do reselling. Now, she's really good at sewing, so if I come across something that I feel like can be sewn that I can sell for somewhere between 50 to 100, I'll shoot that her way and she'll sew it up with no problem. But outside of that, I'm typically not giving her just ancillary, just miscellaneous stuff to do, because she's typically just don't have time for it. But that's just a picture of what I'm doing to produce sales, and just kind of want to give you guys a real idea of what it takes just to make consistent sales. Because I think a lot of times you hear numbers, you kind of see what people are doing, but a lot of times you don't know the items they have listed. You don't know how much they're listing a day. So this is just a Tennessee Volunteer. It's a cheer dress, and I pick these up every time I see them. I've sold a ton of Oregon dresses, Michigan, Alabama. Usually they sell the best during football season, obviously, but in this case, football's been over for about a month now, and still sold pretty quick, because I don't think I've had this one for that long. So it's a Goodwill Bins pickup. It's probably 50 cents, and I got 15 plus shipping out of it. So these are just a pair of Nike Shocks, and I found these down at the Goodwill Bins, and I remember on this particular day, somebody else had picked these up, but they were beyond filthy, and you can tell that they were kind of looking at them and trying to figure out if they can get them clean, but they ultimately said that it's gonna be a no for me, and so they threw them back. And I figured, I've cleaned so many shoes over the years that if I just kind of spot clean them, put them in a washing machine, that I can get them somewhat back to life. And that's what happened. I mean, they're not super clean, but I feel like they're respectable at this point. So anyway, they're probably $3, and somebody paid what, 25 plus shipping. All right, so these are a pair of Google Cloud socks, new with tags, and it's just weird how things work out on eBay. So you list an item, and I think I found 3 or 4 of these in one bin probably a few months ago, and probably about a few weeks ago somebody just bought one at full price for $18 plus shipping, and then another customer comes through and they send an offer on it. And so it's just kind of weird when that happens. But anyway, these probably cost 25 cents. Somebody sent a really low offer, but I mean, these are just socks. So I accepted it, and I believe it's $5 plus shipping. So this is just an angry Mickey hat. Found this down at the bins. Probably, what, 50 cents, 25 to 50 cents on the bike house. A full price sale at 16 plus shipping. All right, so this is an Oregon staple, these Pearl Azumi cycling shorts. I used to find these 100 miles an hour living up there, but found these down at the Goodwill Bins here in Tennessee last week, because I haven't even put these items away, and these just sold. So anyway, 50 cents are usually really light, and full price at 18 plus shipping. All right, so here are a few notable items that I found at the Goodwill Bins this past week. I've never heard of this shoe brand right here. It's called Kuru, and there wasn't a whole lot of shoes on this particular day, and so these looked pretty durable, so I picked them up. You can tell the tread wear on the bottom is in excellent condition basically, and so that kind of caught my attention. And then I looked them up and found out that these do pretty good, and I think this model is called, can't remember it off the top of my head, but anyway, it usually sells somewhere between 40 to 50 bucks, so I thought that was a good grab given the fact that I had no knowledge of it prior. And this right here is a Tampa Bay Buccaneers Mike All-Star jersey. This dude was a beast for the Bucks back in the 90s. And this jersey does pretty decent, but this one's a women's, and so obviously it's not going to do as well as the men's would. I think the men's jersey would sell somewhere between, I've seen comps 50 all the way up to like 200 bucks in some cases. Conservatively, I think I could probably get about somewhere between 40 to 50 once the right buyer comes along for it. And I thought this one right here was cool because usually I don't pick up a ton of Umbro stuff, but the print on it just kind of caught my attention. The Williams Racing Duracell. Anyway, I did some research on this jacket, and the sell-through rate was amazing, almost 100%. And I think these are moving somewhere between 50 to 100 bucks. Alrighty, y'all. So here's that Carhartt jacket that was also in that 10-item Goodwill Bins video that I put out there like 2 or 3 videos back. But this one's pretty clean, and it probably cost about $5. And I only listed this one for, I believe, $85, because I think comps had this one selling somewhere between $75 and $100, and it sold on a best offer for $70 plus shipping. Alrighty, y'all. So I think that's gonna do it for me. I hope you guys got some out of the video that you guys can implement into your business, or maybe kind of get the wheels churning on reselling, or if it's something that you've been thinking about getting into. But this is where I'm gonna cut it off at. I appreciate y'all for coming along with me. If you got anything out of it, like it, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll catch y'all right back here on the next video. Succeed.
This might be all that I know. Think it's okay. I've got a long way to grow. At my own pace. Go the long way. No one taught me how to walk, but I figured it out fine.